What's up, guys? It's your girl, Sarah from Sarah Styles here. We are here for a live What Sold. I do every single Monday. There's Greg. Every Monday, starting in the fall, I started back up again doing a live. So today we are doing What Sold. I didn't have anything to share. So I'm just going to be having Greg and Evan and Amber are going to be sharing some of their top solds this month. High paying solds, some fast flips, kind of whatever. And they sell all the things. So it's not just women's clothing, shoes, and purses. Like if you watch my What Solds, we're going to be getting into all the things. I've already learned that that's a meat packer. See, now I forgot. Whatever is behind Greg is like a bolo. So we're going to be learning lots of things here. Make sure to let me know who is in the comments. As people are coming on, I'll go ahead and let you guys introduce yourself a little bit. Tell us a little bit about you, maybe what platforms you sell on, if you specialize in anything, and anything else you want us to know. We'll start with you, Greg. Sorry.
Okay. No.
We'll just go around in a circle. Yeah.
So my name's Greg, and my channel is Rocky Mountain Resale. I'm more active on Instagram, but trying to get better on YouTube. I am only on Mercari on Facebook Marketplace right now, with Facebook Marketplace being my main platform. I don't do local meetups. Everything is shipped on there. And there's some glitches, but it's working out pretty well so far.
Sweet. And if you guys don't know Greg, you definitely have to follow him. Definitely on Instagram. YouTube is like hit or miss on how frequently he's on there. But Greg lives here in Colorado, and we've actually met up a couple of times because he's not gifted. I've bought it from him, but inventory. And he is just one of the nicest people that you will probably ever meet. And he's very knowledgeable in all the random nonsense that he picks up and makes. I mean, his flips that he shows on Instagram, I'm always just in awe. So thank you so much for joining, Greg.
Thank you.
If you guys don't watch Evan, make sure to all of their social media stuff is linked down below. Evan's YouTube videos are glorious. The editing in them, I'm not going to ever edit like that. I don't enjoy it, but I really enjoy you doing it. They're very well done, very entertaining and educational to watch. So if you want to go ahead and give us a little bit about you.
Yeah, my name's Evan. I go by Flippy McFlipperson on Instagram, YouTube. I sell on Mercari, Facebook Marketplace, and mainly eBay. And I've been dabbling a little bit in Poshmark. I've been cross-posting some stuff over there. And I'm from the glorious state of South Carolina, way down south.
Are you doing like mainly hard goods over on Poshmark, or do you sell? Well, you do some clothing too, right?
Do some clothing, yeah. I've been putting some higher end stuff on Poshmark.
Okay, and how's that going for you?
I've not made a sale yet, but then I'm also not sharing or promoting or that kind of thing. So you
have to.
I can't expect a whole lot.
Yeah, I mean, you have to share. That's the basis of it, is sharing. So. Well, good luck. I'm excited to see what you have to share with us. If you guys don't follow Amber Resells, probably my favorite YouTuber, if not one of them. She's very analytical. I had the pleasure of meeting her. I think was it this summer? A couple months ago, we went thrifting at the bins together. Her videos are very informative, just the way that she does it, straight to the point, but always has very useful information on it. And she's kind of getting more into like hard goods and like one-off things. So I'm interested in following her journey. I think I want to do that, and then I start and I am like, I'm going to stay in my lane and just root you on. So go ahead and introduce yourself for those who do not know Amber.
Yeah, so my name is Amber. My YouTube channel is Amber Resells. I sell on Facebook Marketplace, eBay, and Poshmark. And basically since the beginning of the year, I branched out beyond clothing on Poshmark. So I've been selling things other than clothing since the beginning of the year, and I've been selling on eBay and Facebook Marketplace in addition to Poshmark. And I'll show you guys some sales today that aren't clothing, and then a couple of clothing sales as well. And yeah, I really like posting YouTube videos and doing experiments. I haven't posted on YouTube for almost 3 months, but it's because I've been prioritizing a few other things. One of which is finally tackling my death pile, which I've been like attempting to do for a couple of years now, but I'm actually making significant progress because I'm prioritizing it. But I'll be back to YouTube soon, and hopefully with a little bit more, I don't know what the word is, like I won't have the death pile fogging my mind. Like it'll be listed. So
but you can't, I think, feel like last year maybe you did like a death pile like month-long thing. Was it with Becky maybe? Were you?
Oh, it was like it was only a 1-day thing. We Becky Park and Poshmark and Courtney from Common Tags, the three of us all tried to list 50 items in, no, it was 100 items in 2 days, I think. Something like that. It's been a while now.
Wow, that's intense. London saying, I've watched Amber and she has great videos, very informative.
Thanks, London.
Completely agree. And you have a full-time, like this is you have a full-time.
Yeah, I have a full-time job.
And you were in school. So it makes sense why you're not posting regularly.
Yeah, sometimes I have to take breaks, but I always come back.
Well, so you were on Poshmark mainly for a while. So you said at the beginning of this year, you kind of got everywhere. How's that going for you? Are you noticing?
Way more sales. Way more sales.
What platforms are you liking?
I like Facebook and eBay both. I actually like Facebook the best out of the three, just because a lot of things sell really quickly and the shipping it's like simplified like Poshmark, but a little bit better because you still get lower rates for some of the lighter things and like especially like selling bigger boxes that aren't that heavy. Facebook's great because the shipping is just flat. So
oh, that's nice. But I've heard that they don't protect the seller as much. Are they better? I know that, I mean, they're new-ish to getting on the reselling.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard that too. Thankfully, I haven't really had any issues. Like all my buyers have been pretty happy. It says no returns. So I think as long as the buyer's like decently happy, they see no returns, they're like, okay. Like,
so can you pick returns or no returns? Or could you
it's just no returns across the board. But technically they can like file a case and, get their money back. But I haven't had it happen yet.
Evan and Greg, are you guys having similar experiences on Facebook?
Yeah, I haven't had any issues yet, thankfully. I do hear a lot of people are having issues, and that's what's going to come with a new platform, and it's kind of a trade-off for only having the 5% fees right now. So I haven't had issues, but there are some issues just with it being so new.
Yeah, 5% is pretty legit.
Yeah, it's pretty good. And like Greg said, I've had no issues either. It's been great.
That's good to know. I was talking on one of my other lives. I think Greg actually asked if I was expanding to anywhere else. And I want to do Mercari and Facebook, but the bookkeeping of it, because they don't have like a report. They don't have, right? It's just all one-offs. And that just takes forever, doesn't it?
It's very much part of my routine. So I'm just used to it. I record every sale as soon as it happens.
Oh, yeah. I mean, and I would imagine I'm not going to have like the volume that I would have on eBay. So probably, but my husband's the one who does the bookkeeping. And I told him that and he was like, nope, not worth it.
Yeah.
Even if you make an extra couple $100, I'm not doing that. And I was like, okay. So, all right, well, let's get into it. We do have a question. If you guys have questions, definitely make sure to drop them in the live comments. Join in with us. Or if you're watching this in the recording, you can ask a question. I will answer if I can, or make sure that whoever it's towards will know the questions there as well. Sarah, can everyone there give their top 5 reselling tips? Oh, sure. Are you guys down to do that? That's kind of puts you on the spot.
I don't know if I have 5.
Yeah, we'll start because I'm like thinking of 5 is hard. So we'll start with 1 and go around, and then if we have other ones, we'll do that.
Yeah.
So Greg, I'll put you on the spot. Go ahead.
Just because it's only $1 or you got it for cheap, or you have the option to buy it for cheap, doesn't mean you need to buy it. Sometimes those $1 items end up in a pile, and that pile ends up being worth hundreds, as time goes. So you don't have to pick up everything just because it's cheap.
Yes. And to Greg's point, if it's not listed, you can't sell it.
Yeah.
Like you're making no money off of it if it does not get listed, no matter how much you paid for it. All right, Evan, what's your top tip?
I would say one of the biggest barriers to entry for a reseller is being afraid to ship stuff. And don't be. It's not that bad. Just try it. Your cost of your goods are typically low. So if you lose something, it's a bought lesson. It's a learning experience. So try shipping. It's not bad.
Yeah, and that's when I started on Poshmark and moved to eBay, and that was definitely very scary. And I only sell clothing, so it's not like that big of, you lose a couple of bucks here and there. But the first couple of months, you lose money. It is what it is. There was times that I lost money, or I had free shipping and didn't realize it and took an offer, and then I didn't make any money. But the amount of money that you make from trying it is worth those couple of mistakes, and then you never do it again.
That's right.
Mine would be to look up comps. It seems pretty basic, but it's definitely like a key to learning reselling is when you find an item you think you want to sell, go on to Poshmark, go on to eBay, look at sold listings, look for that item and see how much it has sold for. And then that'll give you a really good idea of whether it's worth picking up, spending the time to list it or not. And if it's not, put it back, look for something else, and just keep looking. And sooner or later, you'll find something that's worth flipping.
Yeah. And I'm going to piggyback on Amber's as well into knowing what your numbers mean and knowing what, especially if you're on eBay and they have all these data and metrics and tools, if you don't know how to use them, you could be giving yourself a disservice. And if you don't understand what comps are and not just looking at the price, but there's some tricks that you can look up sell-through rates. Eventually TerraPeak's is going to be on eBay mobile. So you can actually look at average sale price and sell-through rates and understanding what that means to know if it's actually worth your time and money. And that's going to be different for everybody. You know, some people have it, but knowing what your business model is and then being really stringent saying, hey, I'm not going to buy something just to buy it. It has to hit this criteria to make it worth my time and money. Do you guys have one more to share, or should we get into somewhat sold?
I'm excited to see everybody's sold.
Yeah,
sorry, Greg.
No, you're fine. I was just gonna say one more for the newer people. I know a lot of people get caught up in cross-listing to all these different platforms, and it's great. I think that's a good thing, and to not have all of your eggs in one basket. But at the same time, I think you really should focus on getting the first platform and get it handled and, you know, just learn everything before you start spreading yourself out throughout 5-6 different platforms where you're not even doing a good job because you haven't even learned the basics yet. So learn one first and then expand as you later on.
I would agree with that. And I still haven't expanded past 2. There's at least once or twice a week I have something on Poshmark that I have to cancel because I forgot to take it off. And I'm like, I'm not responsible enough right now in my life to go anywhere else. All right, well, let's get into somewhat sold. We'll go in reverse. If Amber, do you have your screen up if you want to start? I just feel bad because I keep putting Greg on the spotlight.
No, it is.
That's what you get for being on first and next to me.
Right.
There we go. Okay, so here's Amber's.
Did it work, Sarah?
It's working. There it goes.
Okay.
All right, there we go. Oh, I wondered if you were going to do this one. If you follow Amber, she shares stuff on her stories. And so this was on our stories this week.
Yeah, so I decided to start with this one because it just sold yesterday. I think it was yesterday, yeah. So this is probably my best flip ever. I picked it up at a garage sale for $25, and it sold for $150 yesterday, plus $10 shipping.
Nice.
It is a Mighty Ducks jersey in mint condition. Has apparently, I don't know anything about jerseys. I never sold a jersey before. I just picked it up. Apparently this fight strap makes it worth more. I don't know the details of it. All I know is I could see that the comps were really high. I listed it. I circled this one little dot on it. Yeah, and it sold for $150. I put it on auction first at $180. Put it on auction for a week. I got offers for $130, $120, and $100, and it ended up not selling on the auction. So I took it off auction, put it buy it now at $150, and it sold just a few days after I put it at buy it now.
So I like your strategy on this because we were talking on Instagram a little bit about it because you didn't really know what to price it at. You hadn't sold it before. And so putting it on auction kind of led you to what to price it at because of kind of what you got your offers at, right?
Yeah, because I could see there were some similar jerseys but weren't the same that had sold for, lower prices. But then there were some that were the same print or whatever you want to call it, had a fight strap, but they actually had a player's number on them and had like the Anaheim Ducks logo on the arm. So I wasn't really sure what to price by now. Those were selling for like $250. So I decided I'll start at $180, which is closer to the higher comps, and just see what happens. So that's what I ended up doing, and I'm very happy with the sale for sure.
Absolutely.
And you are amazing at not taking those offers. What was the lowest one you got? Was like 110?
100 was the lowest, and I got 120 and 130.
I would have taken 100. Like order for it. I would have taken 100. I don't have.
Yeah.
So good for you for holding out. All
know.
right, we'll go over to Evan if you want to share your next one. Ginger Marvin, if you guys don't follow Kathy and Chris, definitely lots of what sold videos and lots of great information. Such a cool sale. I'm always looking out for Mighty Duck stuff. That's good to know.
Hey,
Okay,
Todd.
go ahead, Evan.
This is a big plastic step, and I keep coming across them, and they always sell within a week. It's basically, they call it the firm box. Sometimes I find it with the DVDs, sometimes I don't. But it's a workout exercise step, and they sell so quick. It amazes me.
So just the box. Oh, you got an offer.
Oh,
Congrats.
nice.
Just the box still sells? Like
Yeah,
without
yeah. Actually, the DVDs don't add a lot to it.
Yeah.
You can pull up videos on YouTube and that kind of thing.
and it looks like it's like an old school, like 80s maybe. I'm trying to look
Yeah.
at the picture to see is that
Pretty
You,
much.
you literally
it's a
just step
box.
onto it. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Is it specifically the blue one, or I saw one at a garage sale that was just like black? Is it matter what color it is, or
I
just a
wouldn't think
specific
so. I've never
type?
seen a black one, but yeah,
oh, so maybe it was rare.
might be.
I should have picked it up. I looked up comps, I think, but I thought it was like pretty low, and then shipping was going to be a lot, but it was also not in very good condition. So I'll take a second look next time I see
Well,
one.
there you go.
That's interesting. And I like ones that sell fast. Like stuff like this, I don't do a lot of hard stuff like this at all. But if it's gonna only sit for like a week or two, I can manage.
Yeah, they sell quick. Yeah.
All right. A lot of people are appreciating. So I usually go live at 5 or at 4, but somewhat we had to change the time to 5 today.
I requested a time change.
It was Amber. Yeah, I didn't want to call.
Yeah.
I thought it was you, but I didn't want to call you out if it wasn't. So
No,
we
it's
are
okay.
on at 5, and a lot of people I don't normally see. So thank you guys, everyone, for joining the 5 resellers. A little late, but we did not want to miss this an all-star panel. Oh, that's so sweet. Tori, love Tori. Jacob's here. Reseller win. Yeah, first time I've caught it in a while. So what I'm hearing is maybe 5 o'clock needs to happen. All right. So Greg, let's go ahead. Let me put you on. What is this? Oh, I've seen this on. See, I follow your Instagram. I know I've seen this.
So this one it's actually 2 items. One I sold for 180, the other for 175, but it's the same item. I got them for, one was priced at $3.99 and the other at $7.99. But I don't know why, but $6 a piece. They both sold within a week and a half. And this is just a Cutco knife block.
So like not even the knives.
Not even the knives. If it had the knives, that would have been into the thousands of dollars. Cutco's a great brand whenever you find it. Always at least look it up. It's usually money though if you can get it at a good price. On these, the more slots they have, the more valuable. If you go on the Cutco website right now, I think this one's going for $470. But Cutco, just people love the brand and it sells very well and very fast.
But it's like a block of wood.
Literally just a block of wood, yeah. And here's the logo down here, if just so you know it. But it just says Cutco and it has those little triangles.
That's why.
Greg, I think I've been watching enough of your videos. Every time I see a knife block at a garage sale, I immediately look, is it Cutco? Is it Cutco? I'm like going straight towards it to check.
There's another one that sells too. Is it Hinkles?
Yeah, Hinkles.
That one sells pretty well. Not as good as Cutco, but they sell pretty well too.
Good to know.
I find a lot of knife blocks, but most of them are not worth near as much as these are. Especially considering how heavy they are. This is probably like 10 pounds, maybe 12 by itself.
So this was on Mercari. How does shipping? I'm not on Mercari. So for those who are not on Mercari and want to learn something, how does shipping work? Like, how did you set up shipping on this? Because that's pretty heavy.
So I think this went for $10 or $11, but Mercari does it only goes by weight, so it doesn't matter where the person lives in the country. It's like in a tiered. I can't think of exactly what the numbers are right now, but 1 pound is a set price, and then 2 to 5, and then 5 to 10 or whatever it is. But how much you're going to be paying for shipping as soon as you list it. There's no guesswork to it.
Oh, that's good. And so that makes it a little bit easier. So you still get the tiered shipping for like lighter things, but then you don't have to know to the extent of eBay. Right.
And they have USPS, FedEx, and UPS now. All 3 of them, I believe now. So you can choose between which option is the cheapest for that weight.
Interesting. Kathy at Ginger Marvin. Well, I feel like it's Kathy. She said it was Kathy, or is it? I don't know. Kathy. We're gonna go with Kathy. Olive Greg's or Ginger Marvin. Olive Greg's sales are mind blowing to me. I would agree. You guys have to follow his Instagram, his YouTube too, but Instagram he shares a lot more. And it's stuff that I would just never think to pick up, and it sells like, I don't know if you're going to share them. If not, I'm going to say it at the end of things that I like look for now because
Okay.
I'm looking at your tabs and I'm like, I don't think I see it. Knife blocks. Who would have thought? Anna says, wow, I never look at knife blocks. See, aren't you guys glad you showed up? Oh, and Tori saying I have to start looking at those knife blocks. It cuts you off, Amber, when that comes up. I don't know how to switch sides.
Oh, that's okay. I do not mind being cut off.
All right. Let's go. Like I said, I didn't bring any. I'm doing a weekly what sold on Wednesday. So if you guys want to see things that sold for me, I don't know what I'm sharing this week, but you can join there. I'm not sharing today. I'm just talking to them. So we'll go back down to Amber. Why don't you guys in the chat share too what your best sold was this week? See, I would never think to pick these things up.
Am I being shared now?
Yes. Is that
Okay.
you? That's you, right? Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. So I picked this up just the other day at Goodwill for $3, I think, for these 4 Fiestaware dishes. And the middle cup of the chip set is missing, and they still sold within 24 hours for $50 plus $14 shipping. So, I mean, definitely a good sale for me. And I picked up some other Fiestaware stuff, and sometimes it doesn't sell for enough to be worth it because of, like, it depends on the print and the item. I mean, the color and the item and how old it is. But this one was a great pickup. And like I said, sold within 24 hours for $50 plus shipping.
So because you're newer to this, you're at the thrift store or a garage sale, there's so many things to look at. How do you, I mean, do you go through and look up comps on every single thing because you're newer? Or are there like certain things now that you're like, that looks like maybe something I should look at?
I like definitely at Goodwill, I go through the aisles of the hard goods and I look up anything that looks interesting. And that's how I'm learning. But I have figured out with Fiestaware, because I've sold, I don't know, maybe 8 lots of Fiestaware now. So I immediately knew, like as I was walking up to this, I saw those circles on the inside of the dishes and I knew it was Fiestaware. So I am getting to the point now that I can identify some stuff.
Okay. Because I go down to hard goods because this is the problem. I have a YouTube live with you guys and then I'm like, yeah, of course. Like this is what I need to be doing because you guys are making all this money. And then I go down the aisle and I'm like completely overwhelmed because there's so much stuff and like 95% of it is crap, right? And you have to decide what's not. Amber has inspired me to look up comps more. When we were at the bins, she did it and probably saved so much wasted time. You guys just went to the bins together too, right? Up in Spokane.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yep. And I went to the bins with Greg too.
Yeah.
So I've been to a lot of you, and Kathy too, to Jamarvin.
Yeah.
All around town.
But yeah, I think the main thing is just I look up a bunch of comps. I still haven't like gone into like books or plush. So there's certain categories I still avoid, I guess. But I'm just trying to learn a little bit at a time.
And see, that's why I don't like to do new things because I don't like looking up comps anymore. And not that I'm a pro in anything that I do, but for the most part, I don't look up a lot of comps now. And because, I don't like spending that time at the end. It doesn't have to be at the end, but usually, you get a big cart and then you look up all the comps. And usually by then I'm like, well, my kids have called me 7 times. My 4-year-old has figured out how to use Alexa to call me. So he calls me all day to tattle on dad. Michelle CD said, I just sold an item on eBay and I can't remove it from Poshmark because I sent out offers earlier. I even tried to change the size thing, but it won't let me delete it or not for sale the listing. The size, so you have to change the size, relist it with a new size, and then go back, and then it should let you make it not for sale. Because I've done that too. You can't do the size and not for sale. You have to make it a new size, and then go in and change it. We have a question. Does Fiestaware have those circles? Is that a thing to look for?
Yeah, it doesn't all have the circles, but a lot of it does. So it's often a sign that it's Fiestaware.
But only certain patterns and stuff still look up comps.
Well, and I like they have like cups and stuff. So things in the cups don't have the circles in it, or maybe certain years don't. But a definite bolo is lavender Fiestaware. It was only sold for 2 years in the 90s, and all of it sells for really good money. But it's pretty rare, so might not run into it.
That's why we watch these. Okay, so Greg's next. Greg?
Is it me again?
Is it? Or did we skip Evan?
I think it's Evan. No?
Oh, okay. Well,
It might be me. It might be me. I don't know. I'm ready if you are.
Rock, paper, scissors. I don't want to be not fair. Evan, are we good to go to
Yeah,
Jake?
you're good.
Okay.
You're good.
Okay.
Am I sharing?
Yeah. I think this is yours, right?
The toaster?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so this is a Cuisinart toaster sold for $80. I picked these up. I think this was probably $5.99 or $4.99. There are brands that are better than others, but in general, what tends to be worth money is these. Like, see, this is for bagels. It has the extra wide slots, so those are money. Toasters with the 4 slots tend to be higher value, and then the more buttons they have on them, the better. You know, like defrost, all the different.
I like that.
Whatever you want to call it, all the different toaster settings, and then for vintage ones, chrome and the wood grain finish, like a plastic wood finish. Those go for a lot of money as well. So you're either looking for the really like nice futuristic toaster, I guess you would call it, or the vintage old like retro looking ones. But sold for $80. This one was listed for a couple months, but
for $80. So how do you ship that?
Something else real quick on these, regardless of how you store it, make sure that you go outside and empty it and shake it out real good and make sure that all the crumbs are out of it, just so you don't attract bugs wherever you're storing it at. Because oftentimes you get these and it's full of crumbs. But this I plastic wrapped just in case anything did fall out of it during shipping, so they didn't open the box and it's full of crumbs. So I just plastic wrapped around it and then put it in a box full of paper. I use paper a lot more than bubble wrap, and then just put it in the box and it was good to go. Okay. This probably shipped for 10 or less.
Yeah, it's probably not very heavy. I just get nervous that like if something's gonna break in transition.
No, I mean this is definitely not something I'd even be concerned about showing up broken, honestly. Well, you're good.
I sell clothing, so like I'm never concerned about it. Tracy, we're going back to the Fiestaware. A Fiesta with a lowercase f is vintage and capital F is newer. You can Google what colors are discontinued. She's talking to Mama with the camera. That's interesting.
It's good to know.
All right, Evan, let's go.
Yeah, Google is super helpful.
I've started, so we'll go back to a tip too. And I'm pretty ashamed to say this. I'm going to tell you anyways, because it's something I wish I would have been doing from the beginning. Google Lens is amazing. Like, I don't know why I don't use it more often, but I use Google Lens, especially on things that you aren't familiar with, because I'm like, I don't even know what to look up for. Like, I don't even know what this is to look up. In Google Lens, you take a picture and it comes up. So if you're new to reselling or you're just stubborn like me and you haven't used it yet, definitely recommend. All right, Evan, are these golf clubs?
This is a golf club, yeah.
Yeah, I figured we'd have at least one of those for me.
Gotta have it. This is tailor-made RBZ, which stands for Rocket Ball Z. It's actually a ladies' club. The ladies' golf market has skyrocketed this past year. Like last year, this may have been a $60 or $70 club. I sold it last week for $154. So be on the lookout for ladies' golf clubs.
So how do you know it's ladies?
On the shaft, it'll have a flex, and it should say L, or it'll say ladies. Then oftentimes they have, I guess, feminine colors. Like this kind of had a purple tint to it. So you can kind of tell.
Okay, so all golf clubs look the same to me.
But yeah, that's another category I haven't even dipped my toe in. I don't even touch the golf club, but I feel like I should because I see so many people selling it for so much money.
There's so much money in golf, especially right now, because people were stuck home last year, but that's something that they could get out and do.
Mm-hmm.
So all the equipment is flying off the shelves and people want
I think what I'm worried about is I don't know what a damaged club looks like unless it's like very obvious. Are there ways they get damaged that I don't know?
Like that driver there could have a big dent in it, but once again, like you said, it would be pretty obvious.
Okay.
If you see something that's trashed or rusty, you may not want to pick it up. But typically all the damage is pretty obvious. I mean, it's a big hunk of metal, so. Yeah,
I guess I just think of a pool cue and how have to like, I don't know, roll right and stuff. And I just think golf clubs are like that, but maybe they're not.
Yeah, they're not quite as brittle as a pool cue, I guess.
Okay.
I get nervous of that too, especially selling it on eBay. Then I'm afraid I'm gonna send it and then it's gonna be bad and it's gonna get me a bad review and it's not gonna be worth it. So I just don't do it. Okay, so we're at a garage sale or the thrift store and we see golf clubs. What are we? I mean, I'm sure you could do like hours on this, but give us like just a couple things that you're like, okay, that might be worth looking up.
You're looking for brand names. Classics are Ping, TaylorMade, Titleist, Callaway, big brand names like that.
Okay.
Typically,
so learn your brand names because I don't know any of those.
yeah, those are your big brand names. Ping,
Okay,
Callaway,
and then
Titleist.
there's different kinds of clubs too. So do some of them sell better than others?
Not really. It's a mix. I mean, you got putters, irons, drivers, and then there's hybrids. But really, if you look at certain brand names, anything TaylorMade and newer is going to sell for decent money.
Okay.
A lot of vintage Ping stuff is really some high dollar stuff. Like I've seen putters sell for $1,000.
Dang.
Okay, and then how do you ship this?
The medium triangle tubes from the USPS, they're free.
Yeah. Okay.
So that one you would actually telescope two together because they're only 38 inches long, and that club's probably 42, 43 inches. So you just telescope two together.
I mean, it probably doesn't weigh very much, but then it's really long. Does it make it cost more? Because none of my stuff's really big. So
they're going to be 5x7 by, as long as they're up to 48, you can ship them almost anywhere in the U.S. for less than $12.
Okay.
Wow. Dang.
Okay.
So it's not bad.
It's not as scary as it sounds.
No.
Okay, I'll look for golf clubs. Lots of people are selling. I agree. I like selling golf clothes and shoes as well. So, I mean, I think it's similar reason as the clubs. It's one of the things that you can be doing outdoors. I sold a vintage wood tennis racket a bit ago for $50. If it's not Wilson, I look it up. Oh, look, I'm glad Kathy's with me. I just assume it's Kathy because it's her picture. Maybe that's why. I just don't like shipping long things. I agree. Reminds me, I've got some women's golf shoes to list that are in great shape. I got them at the bins. And then Amber's chatting. Okay, so see now, who's next? Amber? Or we're going back up to Greg. We're going backwards. Oh, this is cute. I probably would have looked that up. I'm almost positive my 16-year-old had this. When is it? It says retro, which means he probably did because I'm old.
So this is a CRT TV, and those are really popular with like the gaming community, I guess, because the old retro games don't play or don't look the same on newer TVs for whatever reason. These Disney TVs are a bolo, and whether it's a Disney TV or just a regular CRT TV, people don't realize that they have a lot of value. So this one sold for $106. I got it for completely free on Facebook Marketplace. I have an alert set up where it alerts me anytime anybody lists a CRT TV, or I have the keyword Mickey Mouse TV, or there's a few other ones. There's a princess one that's popular, and then there's a couple other ones like a Cars one. The most popular one is a Pooh TV, Winnie the Pooh, and that one goes for $450 to $500, I believe. If you can find these they usually have a VCR. I don't know if there's a DVD player, but it's a VCR that sits under the bottom of it. That'll have the same color going as the TV itself, but it's just cute. And I think I paid $18 or $22 to ship this. Sold for $106 and was completely free.
So what makes it CRT?
There's
how do you know it's CRT?
If you knock on the front of it and there's no give, like it's just solid glass, versus if you went to your plasma right now and knocked on it, it'd have like a kind of a give, if that makes sense. Okay. I don't know I don't know the best way to explain it. I kind of just know, I guess. Well, one way is if you look on the back and the model number, it should say CRT. But
okay, that's what I was going to say, because you don't want to list something CRT if you have no idea. So right. It will say on there somewhere.
Yeah, like if this one right here, it says, or hopefully, maybe it doesn't.
I'm starting somewhere.
I'm not sure exactly how to tell if it's a CRT TV. Generally, these ones with like the built-in VCRs in them, or just these older TVs. I don't know how to explain it the best way. I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. I'm just hoping there was like I don't know. Resale Secrets is saying what it stands for. I don't know if that.
It stands for.
Oh, so they're deep and have curved front glass.
Yeah.
Okay. So I mean, like my childhood, like TVs that we grew up with. I just didn't know if there was like something that you would know or not. Okay.
And then real quick, I'm sorry, I don't mean to show another item, but
Yeah,
this is another example of one that I sold a little bit earlier in the year. This one would go in your car for, the kids to watch on a road trip, but this is also a CRT TV with the built-in VCR. Sold for 171. So
they sell so high for gamers because the old games play. Because I'm like, why does anyone want a 30-year-old TV?
Yeah, right. From what I understand, it's mainly the gamers that are buying them. I'm sure there's other reasons that I don't know about, but that seems to be the main one that I was able to find.
Okay.
Greg, have you sold any bigger ones, or are they like small CRT TVs is what people are looking for?
Mostly these small ones. The built-in VHS player is like the moneymaker with these. The bigger ones are usually just junk from what I've seen. I'll look them up, of course, but it seems like the smaller, like these.
And the Sonys are a good brand too. The Sony Trinitrons go for really good money. It's another brand of the CRTs.
Interesting. Makes me wish that I never got rid of anything from my childhood.
Right.
And Kathy, I think it was Kathy who sold a pair of Tommy Hilfiger overalls for $200 or something. I'm like, yeah, I had those in middle school. I should have kept them. All right, let's go back down to Amber.
All right. Oh, this one's older than a month. Maybe that's why it's not coming up. Oh, no, actually, scroll down. There we go.
Yeah.
All right. So I've sold quite a few Fry boots, but this was the first time I found a Fry purse, and I honestly didn't really think it was going to be worth very much. But then when I started looking up this style, I saw that it was worth quite a bit, and it sold in less than a week, I think, for $75. So first time I found non-boots from Fry. And I feel like usually when a brand is known for the shoes, true at all.
Oh, you cut out. Can you say that again? You cut out.
When
Which part did I cut out at?
When a brand is known for the shoes.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like a lot of times when a brand is known for their shoes, their other items don't really sell that well. But in this case, the purse sold really well.
I would agree. And Fry boots definitely sell, but I picked up a couple of pair of they have some flats and stuff, and they don't usually maybe $20 or something. But if you get the right boots, those will sell.
Right. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, the boots have sold well for me, but they have a pair of loafers listed and a pair of slip-on shoes that they're probably going to sell for $15, $20. So
yeah, I'll still pick it up because they'll sell. But now Kathy is just those Tommy Hilfiger overalls. So Kathy's in Colorado too, and she found them at the Ark right by my house. So I'm going to assume she went on a day that I hadn't been recently, and not that I passed them by. I hear Sarah Styles. I've got quite a bit of things from my childhood, but I wish I knew more of my 80s things when I was in high school. I do still have my 1980s sneakers. Ooh, I bet those will warrant some. That's all coming back. Someone told the kids call it now the late 1900s is what the as if we're not old. I don't feel old enough. All right, Greg. Are we back to Greg? Yes, because Evan just did. What is that? Right. Would you guys think to look at this? What is that?
We're on me, right?
Yes, we're on you.
Okay.
I forgot you guys can't see the screen, but I would pass this by and not even think.
Yeah, so this I got at the auction house. I paid $2 for a whole cart, so I have not much into this at all. But this is just it's called a chi machine, and what it does is you lay down on the floor and put your ankles up in these two little divots, and it just goes back and forth like this really fast. Sold for $72 within a couple weeks. I have another one listed that's a different brand. Does the exact same thing, and that one I expect to sell for around $180. I can't find any difference in them except the brand name, I think, is what makes it worth a little more. But yeah, these vintage, if you check comps on used vintage massagers on eBay, and you'll be, I think, really surprised on what you find.
So you do a lot of like auction house stuff, and I've never been to one. How does it, like, they hold it up and you have just a few minutes to like bid on it, or like you walk around and see and then you do bids? How does it work?
So the auction house I go to, they buy out estates and then they bring everything from the estate into their warehouse and just put it on carts. And you can go the day before and look at everything, or if not, you just go the day of the auction and you sit in the audience and they bring items up one at a time or groups of items, and he'll start it at whatever amount, 50, and then if nobody bids at that, he'll keep going down until he gets a bid, and then you'll compete against somebody or you won't. I like them a lot. I've started going recently and I've made a lot of money off of them.
So timing wise, let's say you're there for a couple of hours. How much are you walking away with typically?
So at mine, they have like different carts. Like cart 1 is going to go up first, and they're going to pull items off of that first. And then after they're done with all those, then cart 2 and 3 and 4. So if the item you're waiting for is on the last cart, then you could be there until 5 o'clock at night. It's really just about knowing when your item's going to go up and when, timing it right. At least how ours works here.
So you're probably walking away with, the stuff that you get, I've seen is really good, but it's not like, it's more quality over quantity. Like you're not walking away with a tons of things.
Correct. And and they do have a ton, like it's literally, they just auction off the entire contents of a house. So one item could be, this is the entire contents of this person's cabinet, kitchen cabinet, and it's just a bunch of canned goods that sell for $2. Or, just random things. Anything you would find in a person's house is what this one does. And this happened to be one of the items. Auction houses are cool I don't think a lot of people think to look into those.
Yeah. Well, and they could be like me because I wouldn't have patience for that. I'd be like, come on, like, let's get to that. It
is an all day thing for sure.
Yeah. So I've recently started bidding in online auctions, and I bid in one, like small, these are all Iowa auctions, like local pickup only. I bid in this Iowa auction close, like an hour from here, and they had a ton of tools and a bunch of comic books, and then they had one random lot of purses. Did my sound cut out? Am I back?
It was like a cliffhanger though. It was like the perfect.
They had one random lot of purses, and I could see that one of them looked really expensive. So I bid $1 on the lot, got them all, and there was a Zadig and Voltaire, however you say it, purse in there, which retailed for like $400, $500.
Nice.
And now I'm bidding on some auction lots for a retirement home. They're selling everything. So it's not purses, but there's some stuff in there that's worth some good money on eBay. So try and get out.
Yeah.
That's exciting. I know the nurse Flipper does. I was chatting with her and like watch her. And then I'm like, oh yeah, I should do this. And I'm not going to. But I know that she does a lot of auctions and wins stuff. All right, let's go over to Evan. A microphone. Am I right?
A microphone. I keep
but
finding
it's like
them. Yeah, it's the cord's not working. I keep finding these things and they keep selling. The same brand, the A-Static, I guess it was a popular microphone. Paid $5 for this one at a yard sale. I actually bought 2 of them from the same yard sale. And they both sold for $57 within a week. And like you can see, they're not working. I did sell one a couple months ago to a production studio. So maybe they're using them for sets. Maybe somebody's repairing them. Don't know, but they sell really quick.
That's wild. It just blows me away that you can sell it without it working. Like, why are people buying that?
Doesn't even have an end on it. Yeah.
I'm wondering too. I know sometimes for like videos or film production and stuff, they want authentic vintage stuff, so it doesn't have to be working. They just want it to look. That's cool. All right, Amber.
All right.
You up? Is that you?
Let me know when I'm up.
You're up. You're good.
All right. So I had 3 FFA jackets. These were my sister's and mine. And I listed them all at $50 plus shipping. And overnight, when I first listed them, I woke up to like 3 offers. So then I just turned off all offers. and then I woke up every day to like multiple messages throughout the day asking if I would take 30, would I take 35, would I take 40? And I just held out, and eventually, and when I say eventually, they all sold within a week. So I probably could have listed them even higher.
Yeah.
But yeah, this one of them sold for $50 plus 12 shipping, so in the US, and then 2 sold for 50 plus, I guess $100 plus 24 shipping. Plus they paid like another 100 to get them shipped to South Korea, or maybe it wasn't quite that much, but they paid a lot to get them to them. So definitely, if you see these FFA jackets, this one, I mean, it even has our last name on it. They're worth good money. And if you see the sweetheart jackets, they're like a jacket that was given to women for a little bit before women could be an FFA. Those are worth like $300, $400, $500. Wow. So, yeah.
Why do you think? Okay, first of all, because you shared this too, and I had to look it up. I was like, "What is FFA?"
Yeah, so I guess people
right?
don't know.
I grew up in like a city, and I'm like, well, I don't know what FFA is.
Yeah,
but
so
why do you think they're selling so much?
I think it's just like, vintage, like cool American things, corduroy. I don't know. It's just, I think it's one of those things that certain cultures just are into, like American things. And yeah. So that's my best guess.
That's wild. I would never have thought. So you did save something from your childhood and it paid off.
Yeah. It's very weird to think of somebody in South Korea wearing a shirt that says like Exira, Elkhorn, Kimballton, Iowa, like the town I grew up in. So
that's funny. All right, let's go back up to Greg. Is that you, Greg? All right, you're on, Greg.
Cool. So this is a stuffed or plush from Chuck E. Cheese. His name is Chef Pasquale. And when it comes to Chuck E. Cheese stuff, there's a huge collector's market out there. Most of the stuff pre-2000 is where the money's going to be. And if you look on his tag, it says Showbiz Pizza. That's what they used to be before Chuck E. Cheese. Chuck E. Cheese items in general, look them all up, but mostly the older ones you find will be worth the money. And then when it comes to Plush, I guess Plush, the random characters that you might not recognize tend to be worth more or more sought after than the mass-produced ones, that they made millions of. So these ones like him that nobody probably recognizes except diehard collectors will go for a lot more money because they didn't make nearly as many of him because he wasn't as popular.
So I think one of the big lessons we're all learning from this stream is if you were an 80s or 90s child, if you had it growing up, look up the comps on it. Or if it seems familiar.
And this guy, I got this at the same auction house we were just talking about. He was peeking out of a box of other random plush that ended up all being junk. And I had sold this character before. So I saw him. I ended up getting the whole box for $2. And I took him out. I ended up throwing the rest of the box away just because it was all real junk that wasn't even worth donating. But he took a couple months to sell. The guy I sold him to, actually, I found me on Facebook and sent me pictures, and he has this massive collection of just Chuck E. Cheese memorabilia. And if you look up after this live, look up used Chuck E. Cheese, and you'll see that even some of just the employee shirts, the vintage employee shirts, sell for hundreds of dollars, or you'll be amazed what you see in the sold comps.
Okay, so keep an eye out for Chuck E. Cheese. We're definitely on that bandwagon. Yeah. We've lost Amber for a minute. We probably have time maybe for one or two more. So we'll go to Evan, see if Amber comes back. Ooh, that's creepy.
It really is. Something I just learned about is it's a ventriloquist dummy. It's from 1968. His name's Mortimer Snurd. He was not in good condition. His mouth didn't work. He was stained. Grabbed him at a yard sale just because I'd never seen one before. And you can see he sold. I just picked him up last weekend, so he sold pretty quick, $61.50.
So how do you know what his name is and what year he was? Does it say on a tag, or how do you?
Just like you said earlier, Google Lens. I Google Lensed him. It popped right up, and on the back of his neck it says Juro Novelty Company, 1968. And apparently they're mass produced. There's a lot of them on eBay, but the sell-through rate is actually pretty good too. So I learned something new with this one.
So as you were going through this, is it all ventriloquist? I can't say the word. Ventriloquist.
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 Thank you. I was trying to put the Q earlier in the word. Or just this brand in specific?
I think it's more the vintage, the older ones. The newer ones didn't seem to be worth as much. I've actually picked up him and another one. The other one's name is Charlie McCarthy. If you want to look him up, I think I've got him listed for 65 or 70. He looks about the same.
Yeah.
But it seems to be the older ones that are actually worth something. And like I said, he didn't even work. His mouth didn't even move.
Interesting. It is creepy. Kathy's saying it's creepy.
It is. See his face.
Oh my gosh.
Oh! Yeah, it's worse like straight on. Oh my God, yes.
And he's got his little hat and everything.
Yeah, perfect for Halloween. It's probably like a Halloween thing. All right, Amber. I think we'll do one more each. So this will be we'll do one more round after this. Do we have one more round?
So
you guys?
I prepared 7, so I have 2 more after this.
Okay.
But I can just do one. So this was another one of those. I'm just perusing the shelves and hard goods, picking up stuff, trying to see what stuff is worth. So I picked up this Metronome, and it sold within, I think, 3 days of listing it for $35 plus shipping. So yeah, pretty easy. I mean, quick flip, just a few days listed and sold for $35 plus shipping. And I paid, I think, again, $3 for it. Put it in a little video.
You did the video too. I haven't done video on anything, but that makes sense. Like for this one, it was very useful.
Yeah, definitely.
Do you think there's something special about this one, or like they were all? I mean, I would imagine there's a bunch of these for sale. It's a pretty.
It looked like older Metronomes were worth flipping.
Okay.
I'm sure there's lots of people who play piano, play instruments, or sing that have Metronomes for themselves. So the person who bought it. Sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead. I was just going to say that Seth Thomas is a clockmaker too, so that brand may be pretty popular.
Maybe that's what it was. The person who was buying it as a gift for her mom or her aunt, one of the two. So.
All right.
Yeah, go ahead.
Does everyone have one more to do? I haven't been counting.
Yeah.
We have one more. Okay, we'll do one more and then we'll tap out. If you guys have any questions, it doesn't have to be related to what they sold. Obviously, they are very experienced, knowledgeable resellers. So if you guys have questions before we hop off, definitely make sure to drop them in the comments. There it is. I was hoping you would do one of these. Great.
So I wasn't going to show any Facebook Marketplace items just because it's difficult to navigate Facebook on a live, I guess. But I wanted to show these 2 things. I got them at the auction. It's this one and this one. I paid $25. This one sold for $150. And then after the guy bought this, I messaged him, let him know I had this other one, and I sold him this one for $110 through Venmo. Paid $25, and I had them listed less than 12 hours or so. I think I've sold a little more than 40 vintage lawn chairs this summer. Not like these wood ones are pretty rare, especially the 2-person bench and the chase version. But I sell a lot of like the just the regular folding webbed lawn chairs or the beach chairs that you might be familiar with. Made a lot of money on these this summer. These were probably my best sale as far as chairs. But
so the ones that aren't selling, the ones that aren't, like these ones are a little bit more rare, like the more typical ones that we're all kind of thinking of. How much, like what's the average? They're high. I don't remember, like 40, 50?
Yeah. So it, like the Chase gel chairs, like with the tubing, if you know what I'm talking about, maybe I can just find a picture. Like here, these long Chase ones, you can see it, right? Okay. These ones, they'll go for 60 to 70. Or these pairs like this. Like I sold that pair for 80, or I could sell one for 40, 45, just depending on. I like selling them in sets just because you get more bang for your buck as far as shipping goes. It only costs a couple more dollars extra to ship 2 than it does 1.
They have to be in like condition, or if they have flaws, would they sell too?
I mean, it definitely, what you'll see a lot is the webbing will start to fray, and eventually it'll get to a point where it's not safe to sit in. So when it gets to that point, I don't pick them up. You can re-web them, but it's not, I don't know. It all depends on how much you can get it for and what kind of condition the frame is in. But one thing I will say, if you notice on here, the frame, it's like a rounded tube. The ones that are a square tube, if that makes sense, go for a little bit more, maybe $10 more than the round tube, just because the square tube is made of a better I don't know if it's steel or what kind of metal, but they're just made with better quality. So the square tubing is a bolo compared to just the regular round tubing.
And I feel like you see those at garage sales all the time.
Yeah,
I don't.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. I was going to say I rarely pay more than $5 for either kind of chair, whether it be this one or the long chase ones. I don't pay more than $5 usually, and they ship for $12.80, I think it is, or maybe it's $10.80. No, they ship for no more than $15 on Mercari and Facebook. So
how do you ship them? Does USPS have boxes that big, or how do you?
So I have to Frankenbox it. I have a video on my channel actually that shows the process of how to do it. It's pretty easy once you figure it out, but you do have to cut a couple boxes and
do it together.
Yeah.
All right. Well, after this, if you want to come back and put the video in the comments so people can head to your channel and subscribe and watch it. Because that's the thing too that scares me, is about having to figure that out, that I just don't want to deal with.
And real quick, I should say, and that's another thing why I do like Mercari and Facebook, because on eBay, if I sold one of these, there's really no way of knowing what it's going to cost to ship it. If you sell it across the country, but on those two sites that I just mentioned, I know for sure that it's not going to cost more than X amount of dollars. So there's no guesswork to it.
Yeah. All right, Evan, let's see your golfing.
Yeah. This is what they call a Sunday bag. This is a bag that you would have on a Sunday afternoon. You don't put all your clubs in it. It's a little small golf bag. And these ping bags, there's collectors that go crazy over these. So if you ever find one for cheap, pick it up, even if it's not in great condition. As long as it's not torn, can be dirty, no big deal. They'll buy it. And they ship really easily. They're super light.
Because it's just a Sunday bag, or the brand as well?
The brand is the ping bag. Yeah. It's a ping Sunday bag is what it's called. Ping has been around for a long time. So they've been making golf equipment for a while, and there's collectors for it.
So you say it's lighter and smaller. Like how much smaller? I mean, it's hard to tell on this photo.
Yeah. So, I mean, the whole thing is about that big around, 8 to 10 inches maybe around.
Okay.
And maybe 38 inches tall. But it's mainly fabric and plastic at each end.
So pretty light to ship. All right. So Ping, and what was the other? There was another brand that you said. What was your other golf bag? Yeah.
Ping is the one that makes these, but there's Callaway makes a smaller bag too. And I believe TaylorMade might as well.
I know Callaway. All right, Amber, let's finish it up. Maybe. There we go.
All right.
Oh, it's on. Yeah, there we go. Okay.
All right, so I have picked up some vintage stuff before, but never have had much luck in terms of finding stuff that was actually a good flip. So I'm starting to learn better, and this was my first example of me feeling like, okay, I found something that's actually worth some good money. So I listed this on auction because I could see two listed on eBay. They were listed at $250 that were gray, but that's what they were listed at, right? There wasn't like the solds I could see for similar cardigans were like 30 to 40, but then I could see that there were people listing at 250. So I wasn't really sure what to do. So I decided to start an auction at $80. I paid $2 for this at a garage sale. And there were 10 watchers and only one bid, but it sold for the $80 that I listed it at. And yeah, finally had some success with a vintage item.
So
a vintage clothing item, I should say.
Yeah. How did you decide to pick it up and know that it was like something successful as opposed to some of the other vintage?
Well, so some of the stuff I haven't had success with that's vintage is like, I picked up this suit that was like a floral suit and like a cool print, but like what women are wearing floral vintage suits? Like what occasion is that going to be? Like there's not going to be many. Or I bought like a vintage party dress thinking, people go to these, parties that are, 60s or 70s, but I just don't think it was wild enough. Like I think if you're going to go to a party and you're buying a dress for it, you're going to get something that has like bows and ruffles and all kinds of stuff. Yeah. Whereas this one, I was like, it's suede, it's good, like high quality material, it's wool, suede. And I just feel like some guy who's really hip is going to want this. So it is going to wear it in like day-to-day life. So I guess it was just thinking of an occasion and actually seeing someone in today's I don't know, years. I guess age sounds like too much if I say today's age, but today's age, who would wear this?
Yeah, and we have some people in Tori's talking about aging it. Resale Secrets is saying that's a classic hipster grandpa cardigan, which I agree is definitely a thing right now. But I do want to ask, so I think maybe you were asking for, is this the one in your stories? Maybe you're asking for help on dating it, but do you want to talk
thank you to Tori. Tori made a quick video on her Instagram about dating it. So I asked a bunch of people, I asked in my stories what people thought it was, and I got quite a few messages all the way. Some people said 40s, some people said all the way up to the 80s, but Tori did a video about why she thought it was 60s to 70s, and that was kind of the most common response I received. So that's what I listed as. Hopefully it was. But yeah, I sent it on the 14th, so it's been in the mail for a few days now. It should be getting to the person soon, but yeah, I'm not exactly sure what actually.
Some of the scary part with vintage too is there's not like, it doesn't, very rarely will it say like this was 1978, right?
Right.
It's kind of scary if you're not, if you don't know vintage to be able to date it. So I will say Tori is definitely girly girl styles. She's on Instagram and TikTok, YouTube. She's great at dating, and Breezy Von Breezy also has like a dating service. That sounds like you're dating, but she will help you. I think it's like $1 or something. And she will date it for you because she knows her vintage. So if you want to get into vintage and are a little bit scared about it, that can help too.
Yeah, this was the only tag on it, so it didn't give me a year, but.
Oh, and then Vintage Fashion Guild helps a lot too if you guys are looking for that.
Yep.
All right. Well, we are right at 6 o'clock. So let me unshare this so we can see everyone. I want to thank everyone so much for joining me. I hope you guys learned a lot. I learned a bunch. And I will say that I think some, if not, I can't remember if Evan, if you've shared, but I know Greg and Amber, I've seen some of these sold on their stories. And so definitely make sure, and I know Evan shares some, make sure to follow them on Instagram, on TikTok, if they're on TikTok, on YouTube, all of that stuff is down below. So you guys can continue learning. And thank you guys so much for spending your Monday evening or afternoon, depending where you are still, spending it with me. And I will see you guys next week. We are doing an eBay Q&A. So I have 2 people for sure. I might have a third special guest come on. I'll have to message them. And then I have a What Sold Wednesday coming out on Wednesday. I filmed it last week, so I don't remember what it's about, but it'll be good. So make sure to see that on Wednesday. And then I have a video coming out on Friday as well. So thank you guys so much for joining, and I hope everyone has a great evening.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.